Hello, hiya everyone, welcome back. Sorry I haven't been on for a while. Hopefully I'll be making a few more videos, at least my husband Lee will be. It's a glorious day. I've just been up seeing the chickens. They've given us 6 eggs this morning. They're busy eating wax off some of the hive things I've been cleaning. Anyway, you'll see you along at the hive later on in this video. Welcome back again, and I hope you enjoy the video. So I just bought this yesterday from Aldi. It was one of the special buys. I've got a Bosch similar one that uses these kind of blades. Well, it's just got one blade, the Bosch one. But they don't sell the Bosch blades anymore, and the ones that you get from B&Q and everywhere, they're absolutely rubbish. So anyway, what was a bit of a con was Aldi advertised this is 23 quid, which it was 23 quid. What they didn't tell you was it didn't come with a battery, which was 25 quid, and it didn't come with a charger, which was another 15 quid. So it was a bit like a bit deceitful, if that's what you want to call it. Anyway, this has got 2 blades on it. And after I made it up last night, I had a quick drive of it home, and it's really good. It's actually better than the Bosch one, believe it or not. The blades are stronger than even the original Bosch ones. And I know that because the Bosch one would just cut grass and maybe very fine weeds. But at home last night, I was cutting through some thin brambles, and it actually cut through the thin brambles, and the blades haven't damaged at all. So I'm just going to go down here and I'll just show you how it operates on a few of the little weeds down here. Just to be clear, this is actually a growing bed, so I wouldn't normally be strimming. I know I need to claw all this off, I know that, just in case people think I'm a bit stupid strimming my bed. But anyway, that just shows you. It's got to it, no bother. Now, had I used the Bosch one on these thicker dried weeds, these blades would have broke by now, because I was continually replacing blades. And I think you get 20 blades in a pack with this, so if they're holding out to that, I'm hoping they'll last quite a while. And it was so easy to put together that I managed to do it myself, even without my husband's help. I think the bees might be out today, if not now, certainly later this afternoon, because it's getting even warmer. So I'm just going to check if the bees are okay with the fondant that they've got. If there's none left, I need to consider putting a bit more on, but I'm going to heft the hive, basically lift it from the back, and if it's really heavy, that'll tell me that they've got a lot of their own stores and honey and stuff still in there, so I might not need to add fondant. But this is a right crucial time of year where we're leaving winter, entering spring, where a lot of colonies die, so it's important that I do some regular checks on the fondant today. So all I'm doing here is I'm going to heft. I've been hefting some hives which is basically lifting the hive from the back and lifting it up a bit, and you can generally get a good idea as to how much stores the bees have got. If your hive is quite heavy, you'll know straight away. The one I've just hefted there is very heavy. It's so heavy that there is no way I could lift that whole hive up. So I know they've got quite a lot of stores. So what I'm doing here, I'm just going to be having a quick peek to see how many bees are covering approximately how many frames. And the reason I'm just having a quick peek is because it's still quite cold, really, for the bees to be out. They're not out fully foraging, so I'm just lifting that crown board here and just having a look, and there was about 8 to 9 full frames of bees, indicating that that's a really good strong hive coming out the winter. I just put this stuff that's going on top of the hive here is a little bit of insulation. It just goes under the roof, and it really does help to keep the bees warm during the winter, helps them retain the heat. The bees cluster in a ball shape in the middle of the hive to keep themselves warm. That piece of insulation is actually just a bit of insulation you get in them food delivery boxes. I think they're called something fresh. I can't remember. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. And then what I'm doing here is I'm just putting a ratchet strap that I've got fixed underneath the stand at the bottom of the hive, and I'm just pulling it tight and ratcheting up very tight. And the reason you do that is, especially during the autumn and winter, is if you've got bad winds and gale force winds, if there's not much weight in them hives, they'll just easily blow over. To be honest, I have the ratchet straps on all year long, but it's especially important during bad weather to make sure that they're tightened up well. Here I'm just going into a little overwintered nuke box where I've had I did a split in 2024, probably towards the end of the summer, I think it was. I did a split there. I know that there's a queen in there, so again I'm just I'm wanting to see if there's many bees on the 6 frames that's in there. But I've also noticed here that there's not very much. In fact, there was no fondant left in this nuke at all. So I had brought up some extra tubs of fondant, and I'm just preparing one here. They're just in a little takeaway box with a little bit of cellophane over the top. So I'm just trying to get that cellophane peeled back so I can take the empty tub out and put a new tub in its place there. And you just need to make sure that it's accessible for the bees. That's just the old bit of cellophane from the old tub. So I'm just scoring the top of that cellophane to make sure the bees can get into it. And then I'm just prizing the top section of the hive, the feeder bit. I'm just prizing it open to see if there's many bees in that colony. And I know once I get it open here and have a very little sneak peek, I know it's absolutely chocker with bees. All 6 frames are covered with bees, so I know it's come out of that part of winter really well, and hopefully it'll get going in early spring if we have good weather. and then it'll get transferred to a full-size hive once the weather warms up. So again, I'm just putting the strap back in place and just tightening it up. Like I say, that's just to make sure if we do have any bad winds or anything, it doesn't just blow the hive over and fall open. If that did happen, I absolutely guarantee that I'd lose the whole colony. Just put a heavy brick on the top just to give it that little bit extra weight. And that's me done with all of the hefting of the hives. You'll see I've got my little mobile phone there, and the reason I do that is usually when I'm doing inspections or anything up at the apiary, I'll take the phone and record myself a little video that I just keep for my own purpose, so when I get home I make a record of what I've done on each of the hives, and that just gets recorded, so I know when I look back the state of the colony, how small it was, how big it was, how much catch bruise there was. So yeah, that's me just finishing off the hefting of those hives and that winter check. Thanks everybody for watching today's video. I hope you really enjoyed it. It was lovely seeing the bees taking that bit of pollen in, and that is clearly what first signs of spring. What an absolutely gorgeous way to finish this video with weather like this. Anyway, see you again next time.